So we're gonna continue on with the weird news, but I don't think this is as weird. And actually, it's gonna sound almost hip. What's the word? Heretical of me, I guess, to say. But this kind of makes sense to me in a sense. So what we're getting now is a new Exorcist movie. And it's going to be just like 2018's Halloween. It will be a direct sequel to the original movie. And funny we bring up Halloween 2018 because it's going to be directed by the exact same guy. So I'm of two minds of this. Of The Exorcist is quote unquote a horror classic. It's like one of the scariest movies of all time. I feel like you and I watched this in college and we struggled to stay awake. The Exorcist does not do it for me. But then again, most possession movies don't really do it for me. Exorcist has never really scared me. But there's always been this air about it, at least to me as a horror fan, that I have always felt like The Exorcist is like the Jaws of horror. Of just don't touch it. You're going to piss off all these original fans of it. It's one of those untouchable ones. On the flip side, by today's standards, it is quite dated. Now, I know some people will be like, you don't need to update something just because it's dated. The storytelling possibilities are there, I think, for an Exorcist. So I can understand why Blumhouse is doing this. And that's also kind of what gives me a little bit more optimism here, is because it is Blumhouse. And as of late, Blumhouse does not bat 1,000. No one does. But by and large, they have more hits than they have misses. And they keep the budgets low, and they let creators do their thing. But also, David Gordon Green has been crushing it for them. I loved Halloween 2018's. Halloween 2018. I'm a little sad that Josh was gone last week, so he couldn't join me to talk about that amazing Halloween Kills trailer. Because,
Dude, gorgeous.
That's my most anticipated movie of the year right now. Because
Let's
Michael
go.
going to F everybody right up. Everyone is going to die.
I know we texted about it, but can we take a quick break just so you and I can chat about this on the pod?
Yeah.
Because there's so much in that trailer that I was like, yes, that's the direction we need to go. Yes, 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 yes. The fact that the whole town's in on it now, to me that was for some reason something that was oddly missing from all of our previous Halloween movies. I don't understand how we haven't gotten here yet, but here we are, and I'm excited about it.
And it's not going to go well for anybody. Not
for
named Michael.
Nobody. I think my one concern is that I don't think it's going to be the case, because I think, if I remember right, somebody involved with the movie said that this is going to be the highest kill count Halloween movie to date.
It is.
So the kills that we see in the trailer are 10% maybe. And that is both very satisfying and terrifying, if that's the truth. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, but getting back to David Gordon Green, who's doing this Exorcist movie, I think it's interesting that both him and Jason Blum have come out and they're just like, we know people don't want this movie. This is exactly who we're making this movie for. Or those people that don't want this. They're like, we know this is a challenge. We love challenges. And I kind of really appreciate the ballsiness of that. Of just we know you don't want this. We're trying to win you over the good old-fashioned way. Just like a lot of people were against 2018's Halloween. They're just like, you got rid of all the sequels. Even as a Halloween fan, it was the right move, because the family line made the timeline get all convoluted. Now, I know some people will defend The Exorcist Part 3 as an underrated gem. I will say it's got one of the best jump scares of all time when it does that fast zoom on the person that comes up behind the nurse in the hallway. Oh, no thank you. But that's a cult classic. When people hear Exorcist, they think Exorcist. It's like the Psycho sequels. No one thinks about those sequels. People will genuinely think of just the original. So I think it could be interesting continuing the original one. I also say this as someone that isn't overly nostalgic for the original Exorcist.
Yes.
But then again, I was also on board with a new Halloween movie too. I'm okay sometimes with. I'm often defending reboots and remakes in certain situations, because sometimes material does lend itself to a modern adaptation, and so long as we're able to take our rose-tinted glasses off, they may not always be the worst thing, and if nothing else, you've got the original to fall back on. I don't always advocate them. Sometimes they don't need it. But other times, if someone has a fresh new spin on things, The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, I watched that over 4th of July weekend. That's technically a remake. It's fantastic. Are you saying we shouldn't have any of those anytime? I'm not against remakes, so I think this could be interesting. I think it's the right pedigree. Now, if this was like the person that did like the first Annabelle or The Curse of La Llorona, no offense to those people, but I would be much more concerned. Or if this was like Universal or Warner Brothers with Michael Bay is doing The Exorcist, I'd be very concerned. But it's a guy that's done horror. Yes.
I'm just explosive vomiting from Michael Bay.
It's not even actual vomit. It's just she just vomits actual explosions. Just. And Reagan is now played by Megan Fox.
For some reason. There's no like reason why. She's like don't even acknowledge like that. Like they don't even say like, oh, she's super hot. This is terrible. They're like. They just don't acknowledge that it's Megan Fox. Anyway, that is a joke I could run there with, man.
And Shia LaBeouf plays Pazuzu, the demon. And it's not even, he doesn't have makeup or anything. When he just has the face in the shadows, it's just the face of Shia LaBeouf just going, running for your life, bitch, Pazuzu. This is going off the rails.
That
so
was something
fast.
I didn't know I needed, and now I absolutely need. Oh my goodness. Like a scary movie, but shot in like the most serious of ways.
Like the actual Shia LaBeouf cannibal video.
Yes,
make a movie version of that.
Oh man,
it's Honey Boy meets cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
I'll give you my opinion here in a second, but there was a movie pitch on Reddit I saw that involved Daniel Radcliffe being the villain, but Daniel Radcliffe playing Elijah Wood, who's the villain, and he meets up with Elijah Wood, who's playing Daniel Radcliffe. And just it's little things like that I would love. But yeah.
I would like Daniel Radcliffe and Elijah Wood to be Dracula and Van Helsing.
Yes.
Just have the pair of them.
Absolutely.
Josh, Exorcist remake. Closing thoughts.
Yeah. The Exorcist. That's what we're talking about. I thought we already got an Exorcist remake with the opening of Conjuring, the most recent Conjuring movie.
Which I tried, man. I'm really trying to finish that movie, but
I know.
I think it's just because you haven't watched a horror movie in a long time.
I think so too, and I was by myself, so it was like, I mean, I won't say it wasn't really scary, but like at the same time, like I enjoyed it, but whatever. But yeah, it's sure remake it. I don't care. It's a movie I don't care about.